Part 6. The Stern Warning. Archie's son Dean, who was aged 13 years old when his father went missing, navigated the complexities of his own life. He carried with him the heavy burden of his father's mysterious disappearance. Despite his outward appearance of strength and composure, there were moments when the pain of his father's absence weighed heavily on his heart. On those somber days, Dean would retreat into his thoughts, grappling with unanswered questions and a lingering sense of loss. As the years passed, Dean met his wife Eula at Borden and River Plantation in St. Andrew, where Eula lived with her dad. Dean was the new overseer hired by Eula's dad and fell deeply in love with Eula and asked her father for her hand in marriage and began their family right away. Their children, a lively and spirited bunch, brought joy and laughter to the hearts of their parents. However, despite the outward appearance of happiness, there was a shadow lingering over the family. The mystery of Archie's disappearance haunted Dean, casting a pall over his thoughts and actions. He could never shake the feeling that something was not right, that there was more to the story than what was known. Dean was a man of few words, preferring silence over idle chatter. He was known for his quiet demeanor and thoughtful presence, often choosing his words carefully when he did speak. His children, all 9 of them, grew up in an atmosphere tinged with a sense of caution and guardedness instilled by their father. Dean shared with them the story of his father's disappearance, impressing upon them the importance of vigilance and self-reliance in a world where trust could be a rare and fragile commodity. As Dean's children matured and forged their own paths in life, they carried with them the legacy of their grandfather's enigmatic vanishing act. Each in their own way, they grappled with the shadows of the past, drawing strength from the resilience and fortitude that ran deep in their family's veins. Despite the darkness that lingered at the edges of their shared history, Dean's children found solace in the bonds that united them and the unspoken promise to never forget the lessons learned from their father's story. They grew up under the shadow of a dark family secret, warned by their parents to be wary of outsiders and to never trust those with the surnames F, H, and X, and never to take food or drinks from anyone. You're only allowed to eat from home. Never leave your food unattended when at school or work, always keep it with you and be very careful. The air was thick with caution and suspicion, and the grandchildren lived in constant fear, their innocence tainted by the weight of their family's past. As they navigated their way through life, the grandchildren of Archie Goodman encountered jealousy and resentment from those around them. The mere mention of their family name, Goodman, elicited cold stares, hushed whispers, and unwarranted judgment. They became accustomed to the feeling of being outcasts, marked by a name that carried with it a legacy of mystery and suspicion. Despite the challenges and prejudices they faced, the grandchildren were instilled with a sense of resilience and determination. While the urge for revenge simmered beneath the surface, they heeded the stern warnings of their parents, knowing that vengeance would only perpetuate the cycle of darkness that had plagued their family for generations. Driven by a deep-rooted desire to uncover the truth and reclaim their family's honor, the grandchildren embarked on a journey fraught with obstacles and uncertainties. With the weight of their family's history resting heavily on their shoulders, they vowed to break free from the shadows of the past and forge their own path toward redemption and understanding. Together, they carried on, honoring the memory of Archie Goodman by living their lives with a quiet determination, a steadfast resolve to navigate the twists and turns of fate with unwavering courage and a steadfast commitment to never losing sight of the truth that lay at the heart of their family's untold tale. One night, Oswald, one of Dean's sons, went to collect his wife from church, and as they started on their journey, Oswald's wife Tessa asked him to give an old chap that was walking the street a ride. They stopped and told him they will give him a ride home, as it was late and dark outside. Tessa introduced Oswald to the elderly man as he sat in the car. The atmosphere grew tense as the elderly man's behavior became increasingly erratic. Oswald noticed beads of sweat forming on the old guy's forehead as he fidgeted nervously in his seat. Suddenly, the elderly man's voice quivered as he demanded to stop the car immediately. Sensing the urgency in his tone, they pulled over to the side of the road, puzzled and concerned by the sudden turn of events. The elderly gentleman hastily unbuckled his seatbelt and practically leapt out of the car, his eyes wide with fear. Before Oswald could even utter a word, he disappeared into the darkness of the night, leaving behind a cloud of confusion and unease in the car. Oswald's mind raced with questions as he tried to make sense of the strange encounter. Who was he, and why did he react so fearfully upon realizing Oswald's identity? The pieces of the puzzle seemed to scatter in all directions, leaving him with more questions than answers. With each revelation, Oswald got bits of half-truths and lies behind his grandfather's disappearance, but he also found himself entangled in a web of deceit and danger that lurked just beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic place. Stay tuned for Part 7, Deathbed Confessions and Lies. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Therefore, you will not miss out on new content. And remember whose truth? No other than Dr. Ruth. Bye. Until next week, Monday.